Christmas Eve. How's everybody doing? Quit scratching my legs. I got one's on the floor, one up in the chair with me. Oh, Kelsey, quit. That hurts. How is everybody? Welcome to Something to Bark About. It is December 23rd, and I'm going to give a minute to let a few jump on. I'm excited. My channel hits 202 today. 217 today. So I really appreciate the other channels that have been shouting me out and telling people to come check it out. This is my new little girl. This is Believe. And her just came to the Wagging Tails on Saturday and say, who's crying? Anyway, she's learning the ropes around here. And she's from my good friend Paula McSwain in Dallas that bred this pretty little girl. And I'm excited for her to be my next show prospect. So we teething, so our ears is flopping. Mama's got to tape her ears back up. Oh no, that's not something to chew on. So is everybody excited about Christmas? All the food and presents and family and all the fun stuff? Or some of you just hanging out, watching movies and that kind of deal? We are taking care of lots of babies for the holiday weekend or a few days. It's hard to call it a weekend when Christmas is on Thursday. But we have several babies we're taking care of. So if you hear any in the background, and there's several little thumpers running through here, Kelsey is wanting up in my lap really bad. But I told her this was the baby's first live stream. So Believe gets to have her first live stream. Cotton, is that you who's crying? Who's crying? I got dogs barking. Just all kinds of good stuff going on around here. Well, I am excited to try to get this channel going. Of course, it's going to be all about dogs. And I can't wait to have my chat folks going and telling me about your dogs and that we can share. I'm going to have to walk away here in a second and see who's crying like that. I don't know who it is. I know the boarding dog that's right outside this door that's barking. Hey, Maria, welcome. Glad you hopped in. I'm going to try to do my live streams on Tuesdays and Fridays and get a consistent somewhere around 1:30 Central Time. Hello, Angel. Welcome. Those that are just joining, this is my new little girl. Her name is Believe. She's a Chihuahua puppy. And I just got her this past Saturday. And she is just getting to learn the ropes around here. Okay, I'm going to have to walk off screen here in a second and see who it is crying. Darla, who's crying? Well, I can hear it very loud. And we're live on YouTube.
Which way?
I don't know. I just hear a dog crying. I put Faith in the laundry room. It could be her. Thank you. Yes, she is a cutie. Said we've had a lot to come and learn the past couple of days. Going from our home in Dallas to now we're in South Arkansas. So we was born in September, so I think she was 3 months today. And we'll go to our first shows in January. And she says, I like to get into stuff. Or likes to get into stuff. Yeah, you can't chew on that. No, you don't need to chew on that. So, what kind of dogs do y'all have if you have a dog? Let me know in the chat. Or cat or animals, period. I have a miniature donkey and a pygmy goat, and then 12 chihuahuas that run my life, and a lot of babies I babysit. I think I figured out where the whining's coming from. Now Darla went out there and got them all working. Let me see if I can text her and tell her to check on another baby. Hi, Mopar. I have 2 pugs, 2 black labs, 2 dachshunds, and 2 chihuahuas. 1 long hair and 1 smooth hair, and a rat terrier mix. Cool. Yes, I think so. Check down here in the bathroom, Darla. I think maybe Bandy or somebody's in there. We got folks joining us, and I don't want to walk away from the camera to.
Come on.
Is that what it was?
It's goodness.
Goodness. Well, I knew somebody was crying, and I could hear them. Well, I got in Chihuahuas about 12 years ago in showing, and I've been in dogs for years, and started out showing boxers. Well, thank you. You don't have to have a pet to be here. We will talk about dogs mainly, but no telling conversations we'll get into. I know some of y'all are in the channels I am, and I know Georgie and Coop were shouting me out, and Tug, and I really appreciate that. So we may have that in common. And if you hear the little pitter patters, it's them playing chase on the floor. Your Chihuahua is 18 in human years. Cool. My first, she was a Chihuahua Terrier mix that I got when I was 3, and she lived to be 27. And I have Wagon Tails, a pet resort here that I started when I was 22, and still had Brownie, and she's buried out in front of my place. And it just, my dad was not a big dog person, and it was really funny when I quit a good paying job to go in debt to start a pet resort. And then when him and Mom retired, they were both down here every day helping me, and I'd be missing a boarding dog, and it was out walking around helping Dad build a fence or do something. So how's the sound coming through? Is it okay? I'm still learning how to set up this stuff, and I know the Chihuahuas are getting wound up, running back and forth. So Is everybody planning on a big Christmas? Yeah, I love Tug. Thank you for that. I love to hear Tug get tickled. Him and Megan both just, I just enjoy listening to them. But when he gets so tickled, he can't talk. I mean, you can't help but start laughing listening to Tug. And you found my necklace to pull on. I should have got you a chew toy. Yes, I should have. Him threatening to put his snake in the box with Megan's leg warmers. I thought that was pretty cool. Of course, I would not be happy if I got a box with a snake in it. I'm not a reptile person at all, but I respect folks that do love them. Because I know there's some out there that love them just like I love dogs. So, where are you guys from? What parts of the country or other countries? We're here in South Arkansas. Yeah, I know. If I'm listening to Tug, just get tickled listening to him, and everybody's wondering what's wrong with me and why I'm laughing at something with my earphones in, and they're like, what is she laughing at, listening to? Florida. You're in the state all that fun's happening in, huh? Cool. We're in South Arkansas, and it feels like springtime. I think it's like 78 degrees today, and supposed to be near 80 on Christmas. And it doesn't get really cold here. Usually 40s and 50s is our norm, but 80 degrees on Christmas Day, that's on the other end of crazy. Connecticut. Cool. Is it snowing in Connecticut? It sounds like one of them places that would be pretty cold. I'm wearing shorts and flops today because it's like spring outside. It sure don't feel like December. You cannot have my necklace. No, you cannot. It's mine. You look like Sally Field in The Flying Nun with them ears. Yes, you do. Cold and snow. Yeah. I admire people that live in those areas that get that kind of weather. I'm awful thankful. We got like 6 inches of snow 2 or 3 years ago. It was a record for our area. And I mean, it shut down everything for nearly 2 weeks. You know, every night it would refreeze, but we get a lot of ice storms, and that's no fun. Especially if your power goes out. I'm lucky enough to have gas heat, but it's still no fun without the internet and all the things we think we can't live without, you know. Well, I was not planning to get on, but I thought, I hadn't done that this week. And I was listening to Mr. Coop talk about trying to have the same schedule and stick with it. So I'm saying Tuesdays and Fridays are going to be my starting out schedule. Now, when dog shows start back up in January, I may have to tweak that, but I'm planning on learning how to take y'all to the dog shows with me so we can just do a live on my cell phone. I've noticed a lot of other creators, that's all they use is their cell. And so I'm excited to try to learn how to do this stuff. And if y'all have suggestions and tips, please send them on. I keep saying I'm an old boomer trying to learn new tricks. Left New York for Florida weather. And yeah, the hurricanes, that would be pretty scary. We have to deal with the tornadoes, and that's what worries me about it being 80 degrees on Christmas, that when that front comes through to swing it back to normal temps, that's when we can get the big tornadoes. So, but yeah, I can't imagine the hurricane stuff. At least with a tornado, it's over and done with, and it can be really destructive. And I was a Red Cross volunteer for years, and we had some horrible scenes after tornadoes, but I also did animal rescue stuff through Hurricane Katrina and Rita. And man, that was unreal stuff. And Haiti, happy, come. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you. Um, but yeah, hurricanes, and especially when they last like all night, or you hear them talking about them for a week that it's coming, and I would be scared to death. So I pray for everybody that lives in those circumstances. In my lifetime in Camden, we had a really bad tornado back in like the late 70s. I was in high school, and that wiped out a big section of town, hurt a lot of people. And I guess since I've had Wagon Tails, there's been 2 or 3 storms come through with wind damage, but have been extremely blessed not to suffer big tornado damage. But said you'll take snow over that. Yeah, I would take snow over hurricanes and tornadoes for sure. Well, happy you missed. I was introducing my new little girl who's hit her face, but this is Believe, and she just joined me on Saturday from a friend of mine in Dallas. She's my next show baby, and her name is Barbie, but we don't do the Barbie here. So I like fake names and stuff. In fact, my other puppy's named Faith. So her name is Believe, and my roommate's going to call her B. So she's going to have all kinds of names, but calling her Sweet, changed to Bobby. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But she said it's been a lot to adjust to. I went from my siblings in Dallas to a lot of barking that can go on around here. Oh, that's your name? Cool. Well, I've been known for my dog names. I've always liked unique names. I have one of my chihuahuas. Her name is Oops. I had her on with me the other day. And I have No, which, telling you from experience, don't name your dog No. Her daughter's name is Yes, and her other daughter's name was Maybe. And so I had No, Yes, and Maybe. Cool. But I have a chihuahua named Abednego, and I went through a P thing. I had Promise and Pastor, and then Fiona spelled with a P, and Phoebe. So we like the unique name that you just, when somebody's, what's her name? I'm like, oops. Oh, you got a No and Gator. Cool. Well, it's been fun having a dog named No, and when you're trying to tell them not to do something, and she runs around like, hey, everybody's calling my name. This is great. So life is good. Oh, me. Happy, what part of the country you in? Have y'all been enjoying the 12 bombshells of Christmas? I know that's on a different topic, but I know a lot of y'all came from the channels that I share. Oh, that's Cotton talking to me. I came home at 2 Saturday. Let me see if I can not mess up. Come here, Cotton. My friend is getting out of her show babies, and so I was supposed to go to Dallas and get one, but actually I was on my way from Dallas about 30 miles and from home, and a big deer hit my van. I have a little Ford Mini Transit van that I call the Chihuahuan. And anyway, thank God the deer didn't jump through my windshield. I didn't have any dogs with me, which is rare, but and thankfully I was only about 30 miles from home. I was able to drive my van home at 15 miles an hour, so you know how long that took to drive 30 miles. But I was very thankful not to be injured, not to have a dog with me. But I came back home saying, well, no trip to Dallas and getting a dog. And then my friend said, well, I'll meet you in Texarkana, which is a whole lot closer than Dallas. So this is Cotton, and Cotton's a champion. And I think she's about 14, 15 months old, something like that. September 3rd, I believe, of 24 is her birthday. But anyway, because my friend is, she's getting older and wanting to get down on her numbers of dogs, I'm like, well, I'll take her and try to get her grand champion on her. And so instead of coming back with one, I came back with 2. And Cotton has just fit in. I've just put her down with my kids, and you wouldn't know that she hadn't grown up here. I mean, she's just really chill for a Chihuahua, which I love. I've always said I want Chihuahuas that act like boxers. I don't want the cold, shivering, yapping, biting Chihuahuas. You need an Ethel to go with your Lucy. Yeah, cool. But yeah, so we added 2 to the picture. But I got some old ones. My oldest ones are 12 and 11 and 12, and they're still in good health. But I've always said you might as well have. I said, how many Chihuahuas does it take to equal a whole dog? And I'm at 12, and I'm still only about 35 pounds. So compared to some of the breeds I've owned over the years, yours is a Chihuahua boxer mix. Well, that's a combination. I love boxers. I started out in them, showed boxers, and they're just clowns. They're like goofballs. And I have one that comes to doggy daycare that I'll always love the breed, but getting into Chihuahuas, it's a whole lot easier to not have to tote the heavy crates. And going to a show, it's just I can walk in with 3 Chihuahuas in a bag and not have it over my shoulder, not missing a beat. So, are you pulling on my necklace? Huh? You are. What are you doing? Do you know you're on YouTube? Are you talking to YouTube? And say, I'm a new Willark Chihuahua from the Confetti Kennels. Yeah, Confetti's got some beautiful Chihuahuas. Maria, Was that a joke that yours is a Chihuahua boxer, or was that for real? Thank you for that, Happy. Yeah, I was very thankful to be okay, and my airbags didn't go off inside my vehicle, which I was very um, surprised as hard a hit as it was. It messed up the front passenger side of my van, and the passenger door wouldn't open. So it was a really hard hit. And of course, I felt so bad for the deer, but she hit me. I did not hit her. She something had spooked her, and she come running out, and I think saw me at the last second, about the time I saw her. So, well, guys, I just wanted to get on here and do a quick little live to say thank y'all. I appreciate y'all telling folks about my channel. I enjoy talking about dogs, so it looks like I'm getting some folks that likes to tell me about theirs. I'm a good time. Hey, Ninja, I gotta learn how to do all the planning to let people know I'm going live and all that kind of stuff. I just figured out how to do a thumbnail, and I'm not sure I did that right. So y'all bear with me, but I will learn this stuff. And I appreciate, like I said, all the shares and shout outs. I think it was 3 weeks ago on a Monday morning, I had 33 subscribers, and I have talked about this for 2 or 3 years, but the other YouTubers that most of y'all follow that I do about the Florida case, I have watched them. I was a fan before all the mess started with the neighbors, but I got really scared about um, doing YouTube after just watching some of the stuff, and I've found out watching the doing a live from my phone the other day about why there's so many moderators. So y'all have to help me out there and teach me how to make people mods, because on my phone, uh, I got some spammers kicking in, or trolls, or whatever you call them. And on here on my desktop, I don't seem to have had that issue. So, but y'all have to teach me how to give that wrench. And like I said, I've been watching Tug and Megan and them, Jeremy and them, long enough to learn a few things. Her parents were a boxer and a Chihuahua. My daughter gave her to me for my birthday in 2009. Cool. My only birthday present, and one of the greatest birthday presents, was my 18th birthday, and a friend gave me a boxer, and she lived to be, I think she was 15 or 16. And that's the only thing I don't like about boxers, is their life expectancy is not that long, compared to Chihuahuas. 20 years is nothing for a little dog, but the bigger they get, the shorter the life expectancy. Well, y'all, I will hopefully do a live Friday and figure out how to let folks know. And again, thank you for joining me, and I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas and a safe holiday. We will be talking to you soon. Take care, and remember, there's always something to bark about. All right, my mouse ain't working. There it goes. See y'all.